Hello friend, welcome to Medicine Hub. Once around today we will discuss about one of the complications of the jaundice, that is kernicterus. So the topic for today is the kernicterus. Now, what is kernicterus? Before that, I already said in the first one of the jaundice how the bilirubin is formed in the body. Give just have a very rapid recap for that. So I already said you. Let's suppose this is the spleen. Now within the spleen we already know that there is the regions that is known as the porta billi. There is a narrow opening of the blood vessels. So through what, whenever the RBCs will pass, whenever the RBCs will get older, just like this. Okay, for example, is the blood vessels. Now through these portions, whenever this is known as the cords of Billit, I'm writing CO stands for cords of Billit. Now through these regions, whenever this RBC will just pass, just like this. So let me just draw it more clearly for understanding purpose. Whenever it will pass through these regions, this membrane will just, there will be damage of the membranes, and the membrane integrity that will be lost because the proteins are not functioning that much efficiently. So as a result, we will see the productions of the hemolysis or hemolytic anemia here. Okay, so from here, when the service will come out, let's suppose the RBC. From here, I already said before that we will get the different parts. We will get the first of all, we will get the membranous parts. From the membrane we will get lipid, and we will get also the protein, and they will get the different things. I already said they will give the free fatty acid, and they will give you the amino acid. Similarly, we will get the protein part, that is the cytoplasmic proteins that is present within this RBC. So from here we will get this amino acid directly, and there is the hemoglobin part. From here we will get the two types of the components. First we will get the Fe2 plus, that will be just taken in terms of the ferritin, that will be stored in terms of the hemosiderin within the liver. Okay. Another part we will get of the hemoglobin. I already said about the structure of the hemoglobin, that we will get the porphyrin rings. From the porphyrin rings we will get the, and definitely there is like globin part. No need to mention these things again and again, so it will just give to the amino acid part here. Okay. Now from here we'll get let's suppose the porphyrin rings. From here we will get the biliverdin by the action of enzyme hemoxygen enzyme. I already said it before, and then it will be acted by another enzyme, biliverdin detector, we will get the bilirubin. Okay. Now this bilirubin will be taken by the blood vessels. Now in the general circulation they will come. Now let's suppose the general circulation, now let's suppose in these general circulations, I have already said you that this bilirubin will be taken. From here it will come through the general circulation. Now let's suppose the bilirubin. Okay. Now there is a chances for the bilirubin to go here and there because it is in the free form. So for that regions, liver will secrete a protein. Okay. Now from this liver, the hepatocyte cells, that will just secrete a protein that is known as the albumin. I am marking the albumin with the red color for understanding purpose. Now I already said you that this albumin will just come here and it will get bound with these things. Okay. So as a result, this bilirubin cannot go here and there. Okay. Now what is the problem in this case in kernicterus? There is the problem in the case of the neonates. So what do you see here? Okay. Let's suppose. Okay. Yes, wait here. Is the blood vessels, and from the blood vessels, this bilirubin, there is a chances for the bilirubin to, let's suppose in this brain, this is the known as the blood-brain barrier. Triple B stands for the blood-brain barrier. I'll show you here. Just before that, let me tell you that there is a chances for the bilirubin to go within this blood-brain barrier. Now as the bilirubin can't go there, that's why this what albumin part is present here. Okay. After that also, let's suppose we know that whenever the units are two, that they are not enough, that there is not their age is not enough to get the proper functions from the liver. Let's suppose this liver is not able to produce the enough amount of the albumin as the liver is not matured enough at that time. So there is a chances for this time that this bilirubin will be, let's suppose there are 100 bilirubin molecules. Out of 100 bilirubin molecules, okay, let's for example 100, and for to maintain the 100 billion molecules, we have the liver has produced only, let's suppose 70 albumins. Now the rest 30 albumins, they will not get the rest 30 bilirubin, they are not get binded with the albumin. So there is a chances for them to get binded within the blood-brain barrier. Now what's the problem here? We know within the units, if we see here that within the units the blood-brain barrier is not developed properly. Okay. For examples, we know the structures of the blood-brain barriers. So we know in between the let's with the cells, astrocyte cells, definitely there will be some cells. So there is a chances that as the blood-brain barrier will be not developed properly, so there is a chances there will be some gap. So within this gap, this bilirubin can pass, and they can come within the brain. This is the brain region, so the cerebral part. So that they can cause the cerebral palsy. They can cause the cerebral palsy here. Okay. So what's the main region here? Let me just tell you once more time. So within this conductors, we will see that this bilirubin will just come within this blood-brain. They can cross the blood-brain barrier because this blood-brain barrier is not developed properly. So this bilirubin can cross the blood-brain barrier. They can go to the cerebral part and they can cause the cerebral problem, cerebral palsy. I'll talk about these things in the subsequent parts. So okay, so one complication is here that on etiology you can say in another terms that albumin is not produced enough to get binded with the bilirubin. That's why as a result we will see some amounts of the free bilirubin. There is a chances for them to pass through the blood-brain barrier. This is one reason. Okay. The second reasons. Let's suppose for any regions we are prescribing the neonates or the babies like antibiotics like the sulfonamides. Okay. So if we give the sulfonamide here, so if we sulfonamide. So if you give like the antimicrobial drugs like the sulfonamides, there are many drugs also. Now if you just use this drug, then this drug is having the capacity to replace this albumin part from the bilirubin. So if you use this drug, the sulfonamide like the antimicrobial drugs, then this bilirubin, okay, this bilirubin will be free. That means what? They will replace this albumin part. This albumin will be replaced. Okay. As a result, we will see this bilirubin will be in the free form. This bilirubin will be in the free form. So that's the easier for the bilirubin to get across the blood-brain barrier. As a result, we will see this type of the problems, complications. So these are the etiologies you can say that if you use the antimicrobial drugs like the sulfonamides, we can see here. The another thing is here that we can see that if as we know that within this liver, the liver is not mature enough to produce enough amount of the albumin to get bind with the bilirubin. So the bilirubin will be in the free form and they can cross the blood-brain barriers. Okay. So already said it. Okay. Now I'll talk about the much more complications like the etiologies of the jaundice in the subsequent parts. So this is our video. If you like it, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.